Parrish, Florida just got its first ever lagoon community. There's gonna be 3,000 homes, a super slide, a swim up pool bar, and I just toured every single builder inside, and here is what you need to know.
Treadmill the realtor, found your place, found your door. From the sand to the front porch swing, he's got that welcome home thing.
With 6 builders in here, you're gonna have options anywhere from the high 200s all the way into the millions of dollars. This community really has something for everyone. And listen, I just toured all the builders. You got Lennar, DR Horton, DRB Homes, Dreamfinders Homes, Pulte Homes, and Parrish Homes, with MI Homes to come in the future, but not right this second. This community is going to be a behemoth in Parrish, Florida, and everyone has been waiting for it. I get a lot of questions on this community. I'm standing outside the lagoon right now. I'm gonna show you some drone shots of this lagoon, but this thing is going to be massive. The advantage of this community, aside from just the lagoon, is the location. It is on Moccasin Wallow Road, which for a lot of you folks who are probably searching right now know there's a lot of new construction options on this road. So what separates Seaire from the rest of the communities? It's gotta be the location. The proximity to the 75 lets you jump downtown St. Pete in 30 minutes. The airport in about 45 minutes, and Sarasota in about 40 minutes as well. You're not too far from UTC area either. Kind of the center of the universe if you think about it, with those 3 major cities. But this place is going to be rocking on the weekends once it finally opens up. Now I will say, in other lagoon communities, people have always asked me, is it open to the public as well? Yes, Seaire is going to be open to the public. So what does that mean for you? There's going to be some sections that are resident only, but it's a consideration, right? It's a consideration as to how you think the value of a lagoon within your community is for you. There's going to be a lot of commercial coming in here as well. I think the main draw to this community, aside from the lagoon, is just the proximity to the 75. Because if you're on the other end of Moccasin Wallow, closer to 301, you're looking at about a 10 to 15 minute drive just to get to the 75. So I would take a peek at that. Let's look at all the builders. Also, you're gonna not wanna miss some of the tidbits I have going on, and I have labeled the video. So if you wanna skip through, you can go to each builder, you'll see it tagged, so you can just skip the ones you actually wanna see. And remember, I am Trenton from Found Your Florida. If you guys have any questions or need anything, my team and I are always here to help. Just reach out below and we will find you the best new construction deals on the west coast of Florida. So here's the video, let's go. Hey guys, today we are in DR Horton right now in Seaire, which is the newest lagoon community here, built by Metro as the developer. Today we have Karina Jiva, she's the new home sales consultant for DR Horton here in Seaire. So the goal of our conversation is for you guys to get a better idea of what the pricing is gonna be here, what DR Horton is offering, and then why should you guys choose DR Horton in Seaire versus the other 5 builders. So Karina, let me start off with the question everybody likes to ask. Why DR Horton?
Well, number one factor will be value. DR Horton, you know, we are among all these other fantastic builders in the area, but we undeniably bring the value.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, DR Horton is the nation's largest builder. So, you know, when you ask like, hey, do you guys know what you're doing? These guys know what they're doing. They're delivering 80,000 homes across the United States per year. So DR Horton definitely knows how to build a nice home. Now, I think the question is, you guys have such a range of products all across Manatee County, Sarasota County. What are you guys offering in this community specifically?
So in this community, we wanted to give a couple different options. So you'll see our Express series come in. That will be the best value to select from. Then you'll also see our Tradition series, so that we'll have some larger homes with a few extra features for those that want a little bit of an upgraded option.
And then what size home sites do you guys have in this community?
We will have the 40s and the 50s.
And do you know the depth of the home sites?
Anywhere from 120 to 125.
And how many lots do you guys have under contract that you guys are going to be building here?
We have 508 home sites that we'll be building in here. So we have a lot to come. We're very early. We just started out here, so we're really excited to see how things go.
Yeah, and I always like to tell people, and for those of you watching, this is the best time to get into a community for a couple of reasons, right? Number one is the availability of the home sites themselves. you couldn't be at a better time. You get the pick of the litter, as they say. Number two is you're usually at a community at this stage, you're going to get the best value at the beginning. And I can tell you, and I'm going to talk about it more as we're doing our tour, but from my understanding, because the lagoon isn't even fully built yet, the builders are definitely more incentivized to get people in here to get things going. How have you seen the traffic? How has that been? Have there been a lot of people that have already bought with DR Horton?
So people are slowly starting to discover what we have out here because we're so new into this community. You know, we're starting with a modest approach. The lagoon's not open yet. So like to your point, you were just saying, value at this point will definitely be something that you'll see a difference versus when the lagoon opens this summer. Because at the end of the day, anyone who's been in new construction, they know early in the community is by far the best time.
Nice. And for a lot of the people watching, you've probably heard of DR Horton's red tag sales, but those aren't all year long. What's the incentives? There's so many incentives nowadays, it's hard to keep track. So what do you guys have right now, knowing, everyone watching, that it can change literally week to week? So what do you guys have right now, just as an example? So
as an example, we just took off on our red tag sale for April. As you mentioned, we do it a couple times throughout the year. Currently, we are paying up to $20,000 in closing costs. Newly, we've started doing some options in our homes. So now you have $5,000 spend that you can utilize with that. And then that's just the start of it. The reduced interest rates are something that is quite hard to compete with when you compare to other builders in the area.
Yeah, can you explain to everybody watching a little bit more about this reduced interest rate? I want a little bit more specifics as to what it is, because right now a lot of builders you see it, but oftentimes it's either the closing costs or the rate. What is it here?
I definitely think that's a good point to bring up and want to clarify. We are very fortunate here at DR Horton that we are able to offer you the closing costs separate from the rate. So we, the builder, have rates as low as 3.875 and 4.99 conventional fixed for 30 years. Available at no cost to you. It's just in regards to approval status. And from there, we're able to give you the closing costs and that rate. So as you're mentioning, sometimes you'll step into other offices where they'll have all these wonderful closing costs associated, but it might take you $30,000 to get to the rates that we're already giving you.
Right. And so I think an important thing for people to know is those rate incentives do cost the builder on the back end tens of thousands of dollars. So just because you hear DR Horton offering $20,000 in closing costs plus the rate, a lot of people just hear $20,000, but in all reality, that sometimes can be up to $40,000, $45,000 in true value. And one thing I want to note in this community specifically is these are some of the nicest models I've seen DR Horton do across the entire Tampa, Sarasota area. So can you tell us a little bit about kind of some of the new options that you guys are offering now versus, say, even 2 years ago?
Yes, we are so excited. So as our options are limited, we are very fortunate now that everything is updated. We have our quartz countertops in all series. We do have our updated Revwood flooring by Mohawk Floors. They're a nice light oak style. So all of your cabinetry will be white cabinetry. You're gonna have the quartz countertops and these light oak style floors. So decor matching everything. It's so seamless now. Whereas a few years ago, we had about 8 different color options, and it definitely posed a challenge since the options are limited to change. Now folks can walk in, they see it, everybody loves it. The colors are neutral, easy to match.
And what would you say the buying process is like for DR Horton? Are you able to buy homes from the jump before they're even built? Are you only available to buy stuff that's already done? Kind of give us a little explanation on that.
So there's a combination. We currently have homes that are in the ground now. So we have what we call spec homes. So we have about 25 to 30 at a time so that when you walk in, you have options. You can close in 30 days. Some of them might be 2 weeks. It just depends on our timing. But we do have options that if, let's say, we have a few home sites permitted, or even just as long as we have them up in our system, you can purchase them. So like you were saying, availability is definitely wider at this point than as there starts to be more demand, and then it closes the availability at that stage.
Okay, great. So guys, listen, right now, what DR Horton, in my opinion, has versus the other builders, because I'm sure you're comparing, everyone who walks in the Seaire is going to go to all 6 malls, is they're going to offer extreme value. Their floor plans, they've picked some of the best floor plans they've had from other communities in the area. So they're very livable floor plans. Right now we're in the Holden. It's a great floor plan for families. Number 3, you're going to get an incentive that actually works for you. This community more than likely you're going to have a lot of families, some first-time home buyers, even that move-up buyer. That monthly payment's going to be very important. So cash out of pocket is going to be king. Having that additional closing cost incentive and the rate incentive is a big advantage here. Plus, right now, even doing $5,000 in upgrade. So if you want to do a lanai screen, want to do something else, it at least gives you that option. I think DR Horton is positioned very well. And I know for a fact, if they have 500 to sell, getting at the beginning is a great time. So I'm looking at the inventory sheet here right now. There's some great pricing. I know last week or a couple weeks ago, you guys just reduced pricing to just kind of meet the market where it's at. So DR Horton's not one of those builders that's just going to sit in here and kind of put their brows up to you and say, no, this is the price forever. If the market says they're going to lower price, DR Horton's going to lower price. So I think they're very fairly priced considering what's in the Parrish area. And then you add on the lagoon feature, you have to really start thinking about what does my investment look like long term. So I think pre-lagoon, pre-homes already being kind of in the ground here, you're getting that first in pricing. So Karina, I appreciate the time. Is there anything else you want to tell my viewers before we leave?
Well, I think the one thing we haven't talked about that is so important with DR Horton is all this value, but layered into that, everybody does love the fact that we do our block on block construction. We build some of the most solid homes in the area. We just did a construction tour with our team, and guys, I was out there and I can tell you, between the fact that we have the concrete block on block, but then we pour concrete every 4 feet with rebar going through, your home is not going anywhere. So you're gonna have a solid home, tons of value, and just the floor plans themselves, like you were mentioning, are amazing. It's definitely worth coming out here and seeing.
No, and that's a great point. And not every builder does that. So it's important to understand the construction techniques that different builders have. The block on block for DR Horton, it's not cheaper. It's just something that they do to make sure their homes are secured. And if you're not from Florida and you're worried about hurricanes or wind speeds or storms, having that block on block is a really nice peace of mind. So thank you for that tidbit. And guys, I'm going to start kind of going through the houses now, giving you a walking tour of these two homes. We have the Holden here and the Elston next door. I think you're going to like what you see. So Karina, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, let's walk and tour. All right, guys, Seaire has some of the nicest DR Horton model homes that I've seen them have yet. I want to check this one out first. This one's called the Holden. This is a very large floor plan. It is 3,300 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. You guys are going to love this one. This is actually my favorite floor plan that DR Horton has to offer. So as you walk in, this is obviously converted to a sales center. So sales consultants in here, but normally this would be an office. You got the double doors on here. As you can see, they started doing this laminate flooring now. It's a product by Mohawk. It's a Revwood product. But you can just see right off the bat, they have the tray ceiling, which is really nice. With the laminate flooring, the colors look great in here. And then, you know, it's not considered a gourmet kitchen, but when you have the white cabinets like this and they have the really nice quartz countertops, it's something you can definitely work with, especially for the price of what they're selling this square footage for in here. They have Holdens anywhere from $480,000 move-in ready right now to about $510,000. That is, I think, a great value, especially for some of the options that they're giving you. This one has the covered lanai as well. All of these backyards, especially when they're 2-story, you're gonna see they're a little bit bigger just because you're building a lot of the square footage up instead of out like some of the 1-story plans. But I mean, it's a really nice open gathering room. You got the stairs right there. And then this is really nice. If you guys have guests come over, you got a good spot, good guest room, good size. Got the luggage rack over there, that's funny. And then they can use this full bathroom right downstairs. This is typically not cabineted. This would just be kind of like a mudroom area. That's your entry from the garage there. And then as you're walking back out, you guys are gonna wanna wait to see this upstairs because this is one of my favorite things about the Holden floor plan. Look at the size of this game room loft area. I mean, that is just something that every family wishes that they had. And at this price point, every family can actually afford it, which is great. I want to show you the owner's bedroom first. You got a huge double doors and it looks like a normal bedroom, right? Boom. You got the sitting area as well. That is so cool. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of thinking about getting one of these floor plans for myself. This is an amazing floor plan. Look at the size of this closet as well. I mean, I feel like me and my wife's relationship would be so much better if our closet was this size. I'll show you a little secret in there right after this, but first I want to show you the bathroom. You got the shower tub combo over this way. So listen, is it the most high-end finishes in the bathroom? No, it's not. Is that something you can change out on your own? Yes, it is. So I wouldn't be too caught up in the specific finishes and the details. At this price point, you're getting a lot for your money. This is my favorite part though. All right, see, we're in the master closet. It leads right into the laundry room. So there is no more excuses for clothes to be on the ground. That is a great little feature that they have right here. And then you got really good sized bedrooms. I mean, look at the size of this secondary bedroom. And I think they did a great job with the models here. Nice big windows, walk-in closet. I think anybody's daughter, anybody's guest would love to live in that room. So great job on the decorating. Here is another full bath. Enclosed toilet too, so that makes a lot of sense if multiple kids are in there at the same time. And then look how nicely done this other secondary bedroom. You got two full-size twin beds in there. And overall, just a great space, a great value. Listen, remember, when you're buying in Seaire, you're buying for the location, but it doesn't hurt to have a giant home as well. This is a very nice home, and I appreciate you guys coming on the tour. This was DR Horton's Holden model. So Karina, we just visited the Holden floor plan. Tell us about this Elston floor plan as well.
So this Elston comes in our Express series. So if you want something with a little more value, but still a great amount of space, you have our Elston. This is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, 2260 square foot home. Come check it out.
And what is this one priced at?
Well, this one's pretty unbelievable. We have some as low as $379 right now, and it still is eligible for those red tag incentives.
And what are some of the comments you get about this floor plan?
Well, one, for the value, the space that you get, you still have a great sized dining space, open concept where the family can enjoy. Your pantry is huge, and you still have the extra half bath down here. So if you have guests hanging out, they have the privacy of the half bath downstairs.
Oh man.
The pantry isn't it either. We have a lot of storage in this home. So not only do you have your pantry, you have additional storage here and here.
Yeah, no one thinks they need all the storage until they actually move in, right?
Until they move in and they realize they have nowhere to put all their things. So the same thing is in the Holden. You have your quartz countertops throughout. You have this flooring, which is our Revwood flooring by Mohawk Floors. And the colors, once again, are all neutral. You're gonna see white cabinets, white quartz countertops, and the light oak style floors.
Who do you guys have designing your homes now?
Well, DR Horton, I mean, we have sold enough homes, I think, at this point to be the #1 builder in the country to be able to know how to design our homes.
So in the upstairs, how would you use this area, or how do you suggest people to use it?
Well, you can see it here, the way that we've set it up as a small desk nook area. But, you know, I've sold this home to many families where actually they make this little bonus room for the kids or a little playroom, and it is quite successful that way too.
All right, you lead us. Where are we going next?
I think we should go into primary in this one because it's beautiful. First of all, the design, Wayfair helped us out with this one. It looks amazing. But again, for this price point, $379, you have a 2,200 square foot home and you have a beautiful walk-in closet that is a great size.
Wow. Look at that. They even give you a little window to peek out of the water.
And then you still have a great size primary bathroom. And then look at all this furniture we have in here. It's super spacious. And then you still have 3 other bedrooms in this home. So once again, more storage upstairs. Kids can share this other bathroom. Upstairs laundry room, which is huge for families, not having to go all the way downstairs. Those of us from the north are used to going to our basements. Now you have it upstairs.
And so obviously these are just 2 of your floor plans that you offer, but how many total do you have in the Seaire Lagoon community?
Well, we are fortunate enough to carry our Express series and our Tradition series. So currently we have a total of 10, but there may be more added in the future. It all depends on what we decide to be bringing in for more success in here.
That's awesome. And so for someone who is, maybe looking for a smaller home, do you guys have smaller home options as well?
We do. We have some great homes about 1,500 square foot, maybe in that 1,800 square foot range. So depending on what suits you and your family's needs or just your needs. And on top of that, I have a lot of folks that are coming down for this to possibly be a vacation home. I mean, don't forget, we're at the lagoon right here. So I have folks who are coming down from the Northeast. They want to get away from those cold winters. They're coming down, they're getting that 1,500 square foot home as a second home. It's hard to beat.
So, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about Lennar, might have had good or bad experiences. What it really comes down to when you're working with a builder like Lennar or DR Horton is just creating a really good relationship with your field manager, getting that inspection done, and making sure that things are done before you hit the closing table. But there's horror stories with every builder. That's not to say that the builders are bad. Lennar is able to offer such an unbeatable price point, just like DR Horton is in this community, that at some point, it's just kind of a no-brainer for the square footage. So if you can get one of these homes and it's the thing that allows you to become a homeowner, then congratulations, because you know what? These really are well laid out, they're well built, and honestly, as you can see kind of just behind me, the community's got a really nice feel to it. And once this lagoon's in, how much time are you going to actually be spending in your home anyway? If you have kids, you're going to be at that lagoon all the time, and that really is the differentiator for this community. All right, guys, we made it to Lennar. We are in the Atlanta floor plan. Lennar right now has two series. They got three series. They got townhomes, 40s and 50s. The townhomes are actually almost sold out in the first phase here. They got two left, and then we're looking at 40s and 50s. There's a decent amount of homes left in this first phase, and then they're gonna have a lot more homes as they continue with this community. So I'm gonna show you the model here. This is the Atlanta. Remember, Lennar in here has been in here for a while. They've sold a lot of homes, and they are gonna be the price leader in this community. A great option. So single family, think low 3s to low 400s, whereas the townhomes, they were selling some in the mid to high 2s as well. They're always going to have some sort of good incentive. Lennar is the second largest home builder in the United States, so they're going to compete directly for pricing with DR Horton in here as well. So the really cool thing about Lennar is their website's very intuitive with the 3D tour. So if you guys want to take a look at their website, you'll see that. But this Atlanta here is 1,870 square feet. So in terms of the layout, they pack a lot of stuff in that square footage. It's actually a really nice layout for the square footage, and they showed with their model furniture kind of what you can do. They do have a nice covered lanai out here as well. And most of their home sites are going to either be back-to-back on ponds or conservation. So kind of get all options from that perspective. And then all of the bedrooms in this floor plan are going to be upstairs. So I'll show you that. But you got the nice, big, bright, open ceilings right when you walk in. So it doesn't feel crammed at all. Even though the stairs are right next to the door, it feels very airy just because you got the dual height ceilings. They managed in this amount of square footage to actually make a really nice loft, as you can see here. And I think that's really nice because it kind of gives those kids a space for the nooks, the crannies, a little desk area, good secondary bedroom size here. And as we walk over, you got a nice sized laundry room. You got the secondary bathroom, and then you got bedroom 2, 3, and then I will show you the primary bedroom. So primary bedroom, good size. This is just the kind of home where it's a great starter home, great way to get you into home ownership. You know, there's not a lot of bells and whistles, but things are done well, they're done efficiently, and you get what you need. So I think this home would be great for those of you who are looking to get into Seaire at a really great price point, maximize your square footage, and work with the second largest builder in the country so you know that they know what they're doing. So I'll kind of show you around the outside, but That is the Atlanta. All right, guys, I am very excited. Now we are over at a builder that you might not have heard of in Manatee County, even though they've been here for a little bit. They are making a big splash in the Tampa, Sarasota market. In fact, their owner, Patrick Zalupski, just bought the Tampa Bay Rays, but we are here at Seaire at Dream Finders Homes. It is not Dream Home Finders, it is Dream Finders Homes. So I'm sure you get that a lot. But no, it's a very exciting community. Obviously you have the lagoon here. We're 30 minutes from the Rays Stadium, so I bet your owner is pumped about this community. Yeah. But yeah, I would say what I'd like to ask new home sales consultants first, and oh, by the way, this is Shantae Brown with Dream Finders Homes, is why should someone who's looking in the lagoon community buy with Dream Finders Homes versus the other 5 builders that are out there?
I think first off, even though we are publicly traded right now, we still have that small builder feel. So you're going to get that, great customer service where we're going to try to help you find your dream home no matter what your situation is. So what's great with Dream Finders Homes in this community is we have lots of different options. We have anything from townhomes to 40s, 50s, and then I'm here selling on the 60s. So what does that mean to you? If you are a new home buyer and you just are starting out, townhomes might be an option. If you are looking for your forever home in a community where you feel that Florida feel in the lagoon, we are able to offer you that too.
Yeah, and it's super cool the way they kind of do it here. She didn't touch on it, but so Shantae, for example, right? She works just in the 60-foot home sites. What are the 60-foot home sites? Those are a 3-car garage. But each sales consultant that works for the builder is going to specialize in their own kind of niche neighborhood within the neighborhood, which is awesome because it just goes to show you how committed they are to that home buying experience. I've worked with other builders where they're selling, the new homes consultant selling 50 different options, and they kind of know a little bit about everything, but they're not experts in anything. So I feel like here it's a nice segue for someone, especially who's buying in the 60-foot home sites, who's going to the design center. You want someone who knows what they're talking about. So I think that's a big plus for you guys.
Yeah. So in addition to the different options, we have the opportunity, if you are doing a to-be-built, to go to our design center, select the flooring, select the countertops, the cabinets, things like that other builders might not be able to offer you.
Okay, so let me hit you with some just frequently asked questions that everyone's going to ask when they come in anyway. Mm-hmm. So you have quick move-ins.
Yes.
What are those priced at? What are the square footage, for example? And then do you have incentives on these quick move-ins?
Yes, we have 8 move-in ready homes right now, and they are heavily price adjusted to get them moving. So what that means for you, you can get a starting price of one of our floor plans for the professionally designed home at the same rate right now. So the same price. We have anything from our Boca all the way up to our Arlington. So square footage wise, you're looking at 2,700 all the way up to just under 3,600 square feet. The 4-bedroom, 3-bath is typically what you're going to see here. 60-foot home sites are what make our ranch style homes, and then maybe the bonus room on top. So
you got a wider chassis of the home. So if you guys are walking through, right, you see a 40-foot home and a 50-foot home. Sometimes they can have more square footage than even a 60, but the feel downstairs is going to be very different. So the wider home definitely gives a bigger home feel.
Yes.
Now, she mentioned heavily price adjusted. From what I see, that means the builder's not sitting there being arrogant and saying that these homes are worth this and I'm never changing, right? They're adjusting to where the market is right now. And so that's a good time to take advantage of when a builder is doing that because, every month those homes sit, it costs more for the builder. Everybody knows that. So if you're looking and wanting that professionally designed home, but at a kind of a lower price, those quick move-ins are going to be great options with Dream Finder Homes. And like I was saying over at DR Horton, before this lagoon is built is when the price is going to be the best.
Yes.
So right now, what I would suggest is kind of getting in touch with me to figure out what the inventory is at any given time. The incentives that she mentioned, those are going to change week to week, right? This week it might be $50,000 in incentive. The next week it's 20, the next week it's 70. It's important to know your strategy as to when you're coming in, what you're looking at, and how it's going to fit the deal that you're looking for.
Yes.
But
so just to touch too,
Yeah, go
because I
ahead.
didn't finish that
Sure.
completely. So anything, we're starting in the 560s for our completed homes.
Oh, nice.
And then all the way, we even, in addition to that, in the 560, we have incentives even on top of that. So you're looking at different types of rates that we're able to work with, as well as some money towards closing costs. And then if you are doing a to-be-built option, because we still want to offer that as well, we're not just throwing completed homes at you. We're doing half price on the home site, so that's going to get you a great start, as well as closing cost options.
so let's just talk through. Let's say I'm coming in and I want to build from scratch because
Yeah.
I didn't like anything that was out
Sure.
there. I guess number one is, what is the timeline for a build right now?
So you're looking at, it's really looking closer because we already have our home sites where the floor plan's kind of already picked for it.
Okay.
So if you go with that home site, you're already cutting off 3 months.
So you're talking about, so there's some
About
home sites
6
that
months, I
have
would
already
say.
been through the permitting process where
Yes.
you'd still be able to go through the design center process.
Correct.
Okay.
So we haven't actually started the home in the ground yet, but the behind the scenes that not everyone maybe knows is that it has to go through permitting, which can take 3 months to actually just get a home through permitting. So if your kind of, time frame is 6 months, we can get something where you can still customize and move in a relatively short period.
Okay, got it. And then in terms of the home sites, what are we looking at here? Do we have water lots? Do we have conservation? Are they all back to back? What do you guys have?
So you're still looking at kind of all of those options. We still have some water views for to be built. Actually, right now, all of the quick move-in homes are all water views.
Oh, nice.
So they're some of our best views, and it's a great deal too. But we do have some back-to-backs, and then we have a little bit of conservation with homes kind of further off in the distance. So those are the home sites that we still have.
Great. So how many home sites, at least in the 60s, because I know that's where you're selling, do you guys have left in this community?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll cut that. Okay. Well, no, that's good to know in terms of the options. So what else about Dreamfinders Homes would you like to kind of tell my audience? Because a lot of the people that are watching here, they get bombarded with all these builders.
Sure.
So what have you seen that might be helpful to them in regards to the builder you work for?
I think we're just here to help you build your dream home and hold your hand through the process. We're not just going to, write that contract and say goodbye. We're going to help you make sure that your, experience is the best one. Buying a home is a huge investment, and we never want you to feel like you're kind of left alone through that process. I think it's really important that you know that we're here and you can trust us.
Yeah, and I think I saw, because they got some interesting signs out in the sales office, you guys were voted as the #1 builder in 2025.
Yes, we were.
That's pretty awesome. That was across the country, voted the #1 builder in 2025. Also, they're the sponsors of the PGA Tour, minor league baseball, now the owner of the Tampa Bay Rays. So it's kind of a really cool culture that Dreamfinders definitely has. And especially if you like sports, it's pretty cool to buy the house from the owner of the Rays. So
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool thing. I think you guys are doing great with your marketing. I'm going to kind of walk through now and give you guys a tour of their 60-foot model. And then I'll kind of show you some photos as well of some of their other offerings. But right now in this community, you guys have 4 townhome models or 3 townhome models?
4.
4 townhome models. You have this 60-foot model that we're in. And then I think you guys are building some 50-foot models as well, correct?
Yeah, so 40s and 50s are almost complete, and you'll be able to tour those homes models as well, and they're selling those now as well.
So why Dreamfinders Homes? Because they have something for everyone. They have anywhere from townhomes all the way up to, I think, 3,500 square feet.
Yeah, 35, 50.
35, 50 square feet. So really a broad range of what you're looking for, whether you're a first-time home buyer or even kind of finding that last move-up buyer home. This is going to be a good option, and you cannot beat this location. The lagoon is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Get in before the pricing goes
Yes.
bonkers once the water's actually filled in the lagoon.
You don't want to miss this opportunity.
And this is Shantae Brown. Do you have any social handles that you want people to follow you at?
Sure, New Home Tampa, and you'll be seeing a lot of just what we have available, any type of specials and incentives that we're offering. So keep
So
up to date.
we'll tag her in this as well. It's Instagram at New Home Tampa. And yeah, if anyone has questions, just reach out to me. We'll get you in touch with Shantae and get you your next Dreamfinders Homes. we will help you find your dream home.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys, let's do a tour. All right guys, we are at Dreamfinder Homes model. This is the Boca 2. It's about 3,200 square feet, 4 to 5 bedrooms with 4 baths. This one is a really nice model home. I think you guys are gonna enjoy. You got the dual door, which is always nice, especially when moving in. But when you walk in, you can really feel the quality difference from some of the other players that we have seen. You got the office right up in the front. You got a nice sized dining room. It's nice to see a dedicated dining room space. And then as we flip into the main living area, you have a beautiful gourmet kitchen that overlooks the gathering room area. Just a very open feel on the floor plan. And then as you're going through, you can see the size of this island. It fits a lot of stuff, very good for entertaining. You got KitchenAid appliances, electric stovetop, hood range vent. And then look how nice this entryway is. I mean, this is great if you have pets, if you have, kids, you gotta hang all their stuff up. It's just a nice little touch right in the entry off the garage. So as you're going through, you're gonna have the owner's bedroom over here to the left. So it's nice and tucked away, feels very private. Again, you got that double door situation going on. A lot of the home sites that Dreamfinders Homes has are on conservation or water, so it's very private, but it's a nice king size bedroom. And here, as we're walking into the bathroom, look at this crazy shower. I mean, I gotta show you guys this thing. So I'm standing in here. We got one shower head behind me. We got one shower head on the other side. And then I've seen some of the quick move-ins have 2 of the rain heads. So availability for 4 shower heads. In case one wasn't enough, what about 4, right? So I'll flip back here, but a very good sized bathroom. This is a must. The enclosed commode. Comment below if you think an enclosed toilet is a must or not. My wife definitely will comment, yes, it is a must. This closet though, this is the closet that saves marriages. Look at the size of this thing. It is overall for a 1-story floor plan with that bonus room up top, you feel like there's just plenty of space. I'm going to show you all the bedrooms first. So we got the nice little cafe spot there. I want to show you the 2 bedrooms downstairs. So you got guest bedroom 1 down here, very good size. They're going to share kind of a Jack and Jill scenario. They're going to share that guest bedroom down here. Another good sized room here. And then as you go up, this is the part that makes it the bonus room, the Boca 2, if you will. The Boca would just be the exact same thing downstairs, but no bonus bedroom upstairs. So you got the bonus bedroom upstairs, very good size. You got some college kids, you got some guests that you just prefer not to see while they're at your own house, then this thing is for you, right? It's even got its own bathroom. So you really could just leave them up here for an entire month and never even hear them. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go downstairs. I'm gonna show you the coolest thing that I think this floor plan has. That is the bonus room off of the gathering room that leads right outside. So think if you have a pool scenario, you get an entire other bedroom, play area, whatever that you want to make this room, and it leads right off into the gathering room, onto your lanai. That is amazing. And then I like the location of this bathroom because this bathroom is well positioned. If you do one day do a pool, you can kind of just come in right off of that without having it to be a separate pool bathroom. You can access it from both. But this is another great feature. Look at the size of this lanai. It goes on both sides as well. I mean, that is what I am talking about, right? That is very good size. You could even do an outdoor kitchen. But just think, if you built a pool out this way, you have all the under roof space already done for you. And all you gotta do is just add the pool. So plenty of shade if you're looking for, but you get a really good feel in this community. You get a really good feel when you're walking through Dreamfinders Homes. There's just a different level of quality that you can really see and feel. And so if you guys have any questions about Dreamfinders, let's talk a little bit more. All right, we're gonna look at Dreamfinders Homes' second model, which is the Arlington. Shantae is gonna give us a little tour through this one. Shantae, tell us about this floor plan.
So this floor plan is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's 2687 square feet. Come on in.
Oh yeah, right off the bat, you can definitely see a lot of upgrades. This is cool. Is this an optional bedroom, or does this always stay open here as a flex room?
So standard, it is a 2-car garage, and you have the option of turning it into a 3-car garage with this room here. So if you need the extra interior space for an office or a playroom, you want to go with a 2-car garage and have your hobby room.
Well, that's great, because a lot of people are always asking me if they can add AC to their garage because they want a hobby room. So why not just turn it into one?
Exactly.
So this is obviously a guest bedroom here. How
Yes.
many bedrooms are there in this home?
4-bedroom. These 2 rooms share a bath here. And then you have 2 rooms in the back of the home. I want
Sure.
to show you the kitchen.
I'm sure you get this question a lot. Are we looking at all upgrades here?
That's always the big question, right? Let me show you what are the upgrades in this kitchen. So standard, we do have the microwave over the range, but if you wanted to upgrade, we have the gourmet kitchen option. We also have in this the upgraded extended cabinetry with the alternative island. So when you add the cabinets, you get an island that's almost like a double cabinet size. It's huge.
Yeah, this island is one of the bigger ones I've seen in any model home. Now, for someone who's asking what comes standard in terms of the cabinetry, do they come standard and are they always soft close?
They will be soft close cabinets. We have 3 different levels you can choose from when you get to the design center. And most of our cabinets in our quick move-in homes will be upgraded cabinets like these.
That's awesome. So you say quick move-in. Obviously, we talked about it before. So for something like this, how many upgrades in terms of price do you think is in something like this?
We try to keep people around 10% of the base price, but a lot of people like to add more to their home depending on what they like. You can definitely stay around that 10%, but I would say anywhere from 30 to even over 100,000 if you wanted to.
Yeah, and I always tell my clients that, you know, a lot of that in terms of the numbers, you're going to be dictating because you're going to be going to the design center. Now, I will say, I love these large sliding doors. Are they
Yes.
impact glass?
They are.
And does that come standard?
Yes, on the sliders it does. And then we have options to make this a 12-foot by 8-foot slider. This is just the 8-foot by 8-foot right now.
Got it.
Welcome to the master.
Yeah, this is a good sized master. One thing I've noticed is Dreamfinder seems to be doing a lot of double doors into the master and the front doors, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, gives you a grand feel. The 60-foot home sites allow for that.
Sure.
So one of the things that people like to do is make the shower a super shower. If you do that upgrade, your shower would be all the way to the wall.
Here's a trick question for you. How many shower heads does Dreamfinders have the ability to add?
If you do the super shower, you'll get 2 standard, and then you can add the rain shower heads for a total of 4 shower heads in your shower.
That's got to be the most shower heads in all of Parrish, Florida, right there. So what has the customer feedback been on this floor plan? What do you see people liking about this floor plan? And who do you think would be a good fit for this?
So this one is just the Arlington, but we have a lot of people go with the Arlington bonus. So if you needed just that extra little bit more of space, instead of having such a large dining area, your staircase would be here and you would go up to the bonus room that adds a room and another bathroom.
That's awesome. Actually, I think one of the quick move-ins we looked at has that.
It sure does.
All right, is there anything else that you'd like to point out in this home specifically?
Let's take a look at the flooring. So this is an upgraded wood look tile. We have options for laminate flooring as well. I think when people move to Florida, they like the tile, but laminate's always a good option.
Awesome. And then what would you say a quick move-in price on this one would be? And then one if they just absolutely decked it out on the best lot in the community.
So you can get an Arlington with bonus in one of our quick move-ins for under $600,000. If you wanted to deck this out on a to-be-built, you're probably looking anywhere from the 7s to 8s if you really went all out.
That's awesome. All right, well, guys, I think obviously the kitchen is the showstopper in this one. Lots of rooms, lots of options. This one is a must-see. All right, guys, now we're walking through DRB's section. So previously known as Biscayne Homes, DRB is now bought Biscayne Homes, and now they're a decently sized builder. But what do they do in Seaire? They're gonna offer mostly higher end finished products. These are gonna be directly competing with Parrish Homes. Unfortunately, I can't take you through the models because they have a lot of very stringent rules for realtors filming inside model homes. So totally respect that, totally get it. I'm sure there's been some realtors that have probably made some horrible videos in there and ruined their brand. So totally respect that, but I'm just kind of walking through some of their quick move-ins now from the street. And yeah, as you can see, larger homes, side entry garages. They have a lot of quick move-ins available, but these guys are gonna give you anywhere from, you know, around 2,200 square feet all the way up to about 3,800 square feet. So really good options if you guys are looking for a builder that's known in the area, who's been in Seaire for a while. These were one of the first builders in Seaire, and yeah, they definitely do a good job. If your budget is anywhere from about $650 to $1 million, this is going to be the builder for you within Seaire. So don't have much more to show you on DRB. Now we are about to tour the big bad Texas builder that is coming into Tampa, trying to take over. That is Parrish Homes. Parrish Homes is going to be a very high-end private builder. So not publicly traded, one of the largest private builders in the country. They do a very good job at building with quality, putting in higher end finishes. That's what they're known for in Texas, and they're trying to bring that to the Tampa market. Just recently entered within the last year, year and a half. And I think this is their first time they're building in Parrish. So this is very exciting. If you're looking at more of that high-end finishes, the DRBs, the Dreamfinders, they're all in Seaire now. And then Parrish Homes is about to open up, and they're gonna try to eat everyone's lunch. I mean, I think that's their plan. They're gonna price aggressively for the options that they're giving. Let's walk in. Right now, their models are still under construction, but we're gonna give them a peek anyway, just to see kind of what is going on, what they have working, and what's gonna be in store for us here. So, might be a little bit darker of a video. Right off the bat, 12-foot ceilings in the entry. They're gonna have tray ceilings in here. This is going to be a very interesting, this is gonna be the sales center here, but off to the left, looks like what you got, a bedroom over here. Nice big sliders in the back. This is gonna be, they have 50s and 60s. So definitely good options. Oh man, they got 12-foot ceilings in this area too. Might even be 14 feet. I mean, this is stunning. They got the cabinets all the way up to the ceiling. Now, obviously their pricing is gonna be a little bit more aggressive than the other builders, but that's what you expect with these kind of finishes. I saw pricing anywhere on their 3,600 square foot home. You're probably gonna be pushing $1 million. If you're building quick move, and you might be able to get that for like $899. But look at the differences. They got the bigger windows. You just don't see other builders in Florida doing this stuff. Look at that. You got a fireplace. How many builders in Florida have you seen putting fireplaces in? The answer, very, very few at this price point. But you can already tell this model is gonna have all the bells and whistles, all the windows in the world. They got sconces, just little things that I think the rest of the builders in this community aren't offering. And it's gonna be a struggle for some of the builders to compete with some of the offerings that I think Parrish is gonna have here. So, got the nice big sliders, huge covered lanai area. And then they're gonna have a nice big pool. But this is a wonderful floor plan. I can already tell, even though the finishes aren't in, this home is going to be very well done. This is gonna be a showstopper. I would expect a lot of people who are expecting those higher end finishes for this price point to really wanna come and see at least what Parrish Homes has to offer before they pull the trigger somewhere else. You got the owner's bedroom in the back. Again, you got these really cool sized windows that you just don't see other builders doing. And then look at this shower. Holy moly. You got the tile on the outside of it. Nice big shower inside, separate vanities, and then enclosed commode. That's a must. Good storage space. 2 closets, it looks like. Look at that. Big windows, but they frosted them. Again, these are just the kind of touches that you don't see often in these new construction builds down here in Florida for this price point. So I know one big thing, Perry is coming in, they're not trying to play around. They're trying to bring that affordable high-end custom luxury. Think of them kind of like a West Bay, but I would expect them to come in and really just try to undercut West Bay and just kind of take over this mid-tier luxury market for sure. I'm gonna take you over here. And why do I say all this? You know, down in Star Farms, you know, I know Perry's building down there. People are loving them. I mean, they're priced very high down there and people are buying them. But you expect for this price point that they're gonna offer you those minute things you would expect at this price point. And it seems like that's what they're gonna be offering. So I love how they do these bigger windows, the different elevations. They even have some of those garages that have 2 cars on the side, 1 in the back. They kind of give you that courtyard effect, but oh man, look at this. Walking into their new model here. Again, the ceiling height's just the first thing that just slaps you in the face. Very, very high ceilings. I can already tell you this home is gonna be a showstopper. Got more sales offices over here. Look at what they got going on here. I have not seen this in Parrish anywhere else, even at West Bay. This is gonna be very impressive, very cool floor plan. Another gourmet kitchen coming in here. I love the crown molding on the cabinets. Huge sliding glass doors, impact glass. This is going to be a game changer for Parrish once these models are done. I think people are gonna be clamoring to build Perry homes. If you have the budget and you have the wants for higher end finishes, I think Perry is going to be that option that you might have just felt hasn't existed yet in communities like Seaire. You're definitely gonna feel it here. So overall, I think Perry came in and they're doing exactly what I thought they were gonna do, which was to just try to dominate. Just kind of come in and say, we're bringing what we did best in Texas to Florida, and we're not messing around. So very interested to see these models when they're done. Obviously, I'm sure they'll have a grand opening. We'll be there for that. But yeah, they obviously, their section looks like it appears to have its own entryway as well. So we'll see what Perry has to offer. But again, if you guys have questions, let's come tour this together. There's a lot of good options in this community. It can be overwhelming, but let's pare it down to budget, wants, needs, etc., and we'll get a home that works for you. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, behind me, we are now at Pulte Homes. So Pulte Homes just grand opened last weekend. They are now officially open. The roads are open, and Pulte Homes is going to offer a pretty unique offering in here. So although they're a very, very large builder, the nation's #3 largest builder, they're going to be able to probably right underneath price of Perry Homes and Dream Finders, and a little bit above Lennar and DR Horton. They're going to be that great middleman, if you will. So you can still have the optionality in terms of picking what you want, and then maybe a little bit higher end finishes, and still expect that quality of one of the more higher end builders. So I think Pulte is going to be a great option for a lot of move up buyers, and even some first time home buyers. You might be able to snag one of the quick move-ins if it's priced pretty aggressively. So I think Pulte does a great job, especially in this area of building with quality and having a really good just process for the homeowners as well. So let's go ahead and jump into these 2 models. All right, so we're gonna look at 2 floor plans of their models. We're gonna have the Mystique, which is the most popular floor plan in Pulte across the entire country. And then they have the Pinecrest. We're gonna check those 2 out. First, we're gonna walk into the Mystique. So the Mystique sits right at 2132 square feet. They're all gonna be 4 bedroom, 3 bath Most of them are going to have that extended lanai as well. So as you can see, you walk in, they do a great job with their models. Pulte does. You got the 2 bedrooms right up at the front, share this guest bathroom here. But you can just feel the quality is very nice. Got the other guest bathroom right here. This is nice. They used to do a 2.5 car garage with the Mystique, but now they have the 3rd bedroom over here. This is set up as an office, but it has a closet and a window for a bedroom. And then you have a really good sized laundry room. Nice washer and dryer. They did the cabinets above as well, which is a nice touch. And then I always like to show people this. A really nice storage area. Put vacuums, cleaners, brooms, etc., etc. So good there. As we walk into the main part of the home, you'll just see that it's very open. So that's the reason this is their #1 seller. It's a very open floor plan, and they have the beautiful gourmet kitchen. Right now they're doing a free gourmet kitchen if you build. That can obviously change depending on when you're watching this video, what time of year, and what incentives they have going on. This is one of the most coveted things in the Mystique. This is why people would buy this home even if it was a lot more than other homes. This is the 0 corner slider. Let me show you. You see this door right here opens all the way there, and then this one does. And then I'm going to back up so you can kind of see what I mean by 0 corner. So there's literally no support beam, so they have to engineer it completely different. It's an expensive option because they have to basically pour a lintel up at the top here to support it fully with concrete, but it really does just open up the entire outdoor space all the way, wrapping that L lanai, and then look at it from behind. It's a very nice feature. I love that they're doing the outdoor kitchens as well now. Great option if you're looking for premium, but not at a crazy premium price. Now, as dining room space, you got plenty of space there to have a nice dining room table. And then obviously you got the owner's bedroom in the back, which leads right into what Pulte loves to do, which is the super shower. Kind of have these 2 little windows here. And then you got that, you got the rain head, the bench, and the shower. Looks like they got a custom closet in here. I will ask to see if they're actually doing these custom closets, because that's a pretty cool feature. But overall, very nice floor plan. It lives very well for the square footage at 2134 square feet. And honestly, this plan is a favorite amongst retirees, young families, and really just anyone who wants that kind of entertaining lifestyle plan. So next, we're going to look at the Pinecrest. This was the Mystique. Usually the Mystique here at Pulte, all in, you're probably looking at, right around $500,000. All right, next we're going to look at the Pinecrest. So the Pinecrest is going to fit on a 40 by 120 lot. Really nice floor plan, just over 2,200 square feet, 4 bedroom. You guys are really going to like this one. Their 40 foots are a little bit interesting, and I'll show you as we're going through. They're a little bit different than their 50 foot, but I don't think you would even notice unless I told you. But I really love what Pulte's doing. Really nice bright colors. This floor plan for the square footage, man, they have sure maximized the amount of square foot and space and usable areas. So very open downstairs. I really like what they're doing. Now, you wouldn't even notice it unless I told you, but the ceiling height in here is not 9'4" like their 50 foot series. It's actually 8'8". And one of the places that it shows up, which I actually think is a bonus, is their cabinets. Because it's an 8'8" ceiling, if they did the 42-inch cabinets like they're doing here, there would be like this weird 4-inch, 3-inch gap. So instead of leaving a gap, they actually put crown molding. I think it looks phenomenal. Kind of gives that cabinets to the ceiling vibe. And then as you can see in this section, they don't do the cabinets over the fridge. So that's kind of how they save some money and pass on those savings to you in this series. And then the countertops, you can see that is actually a 2 centimeter countertop versus a 3 that's normal. But I mean, the downstairs is very usable, a lot of open spaces. You got a nice mudroom pantry area here. And then look at this. They got a nice guest bathroom and bed downstairs. Very open down here. Dining room table, 6-seater, nice big sliding glass doors, and a covered lanai with a screen. Can't really ask for too much more downstairs. As we go upstairs, I want to just point out that the 40 foots are going to be more directly competing with DR Horton's 40 foot, right? They're going to pass those cost savings on to you, maybe not have super high end finishes, but they're going to battle on that value prop, right? Should I buy Pulte for a little bit more than DR Horton? Am I getting a better value? That's for you guys to decide. As you're walking through, you'll get a feel. I love how Pulte always does a really nice loft area. Very good size. They actually make their lofts usable. I see a lot of builders kind of call it a loft and then it's not. Huge laundry room there. Nice secondary bathroom. 1 bed for kids, 2 bed for kids, and then the owner's bedroom. Very good size owner's bedroom. Nice big windows. Look at the size of this dresser. Plenty of space to store everything you need. And then you're going to sacrifice a little bit of space up top in the bathroom, but that's okay. Don't need a huge bathroom. As you can see, they're doing the Vicryl pan bottoms. The reason they're doing those versus the tile floor is it's always better on the second floor to have the Vicryl. If you have the tile, there's obviously a bunch of ways to waterproof it, but over time that grout cracks, water can start to seep through. It's just an extra layer of protection that Pulte puts in. So don't ask me if you can do tile, you can't. Anyway, this is the Pinecrest. Guys, I think after looking at these two, Pulte does a great job at being the middleman. That's what you're gonna get here. You're gonna get a great value, great price, and great quality, and still have some of those higher end finishes. So if you wanna go a little bit more, put the outdoor kitchen in, put that gourmet kitchen in, Pulte's gonna allow you to do that without hitting Parrish Homes pricing or DRB Homes pricing. So I think they're at a good price point within Seaire. And listen, Seaire has got the number 1, 2, and 3 builder. DR Horton number 1, Lennar number 2, and Pulte number 3. So these guys don't mess around. They know what they're doing, and they all position themselves kind of uniquely within the market. So it's really important that when you meet with someone like me, we can kind of discuss what your needs are, what your wants are, and see how that can fit within the budget that you actually have. So Pulte, checking out. Great job, Pulte.